Alright, y'all, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Whisper About It. You know, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. We're just all over the place. We out there in the community too, best believe it. We got a good weekend coming up, big things happening. Hey, we got a hell of a lineup for y'all. Check it out. Leave a comment, share, engage with us now. Whisper About It.
Mr. President, what's your secret weapon?
Cash.
That knows something about it, and I won't answer now. Who, what, where, why? See, a lot of dudes like to act the fool now. Get on live, but that ain't my style. So who we gonna get?
Headed by Chairman Martin Taylor Greene, her and her staff discovered $2.7 trillion in improper payments to Medicare, Medicaid, overseas, to people who should not have gotten it. Some of this room might have...
You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Like, this shit cannot be real. 2.7 trillion. That's with a T. Trillion. $2.7 trillion spent on Medicare and Medicaid payments to people overseas who weren't entitled to that benefit. The national debt is $36 trillion. You're telling me that 3 trillion of it is due to checks that went to people overseas?
Let me just make this comment because I've made this a few times, but I firmly do believe that we're not in debt. They're just spending wasteful money. You know, America's supposed to, well, we should be making money. You think that we probably are, but the lefties probably just throwing it all away, as y'all can tell. I didn't say that. Entertainment.
I'm telling you that by the end of this administration, I think that we will find $36 trillion of waste, fraud, and abuse. The entire national debt.
Check.
The entire national debt. $36 trillion.
Check.
I guarantee it. I guarantee you that we find $36 trillion worth of waste, fraud, and abuse.
What is it that you get paid currently?
Senator, that's well disclosed in our proxy documents in each of the years that I've been employed.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a big number, sir.
Well, let me help you out. It's $32.8 million this year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
It's a 45% increase over last year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
What is it you get paid to do exactly?
I get paid to run the Boeing company.
Yeah. So just help me understand that. I mean, do you get paid for transparency? Is that one of the metrics for your income?
I think the board counts on me for transparency.
Really? Because you're under investigation for falsifying 787 inspection records. The Boeing's under criminal investigation for the Alaska Airlines flight. You were investigated by DOJ for criminal conspiracy to defraud the FAA. This is all in your tenure. This doesn't sound like a lot of transparency to me. We've had multiple whistleblowers come before this committee and allege that Boeing is cutting every possible corner on quality and safety, not just in the past, but now. They've alleged that you've eliminated safety inspections, that there are fewer in quality and there are fewer inspectors doing quality inspections out there. They've alleged that when they raised quality issues and concerns, they were reassigned, they were retaliated against, they were physically threatened. That doesn't sound like attention to quality to me, and yet you're getting paid $33 million a year.
Mr. Chairman.
Before we go to leave...
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, what do you want?
I love this guy. Mr. Chairman, I'm unlike Senator Tillis. I mean, if we're going to start this, I want an extra 3 minutes.
Well,
now, my friend Senator Klobuchar went 3 minutes over.
So, you hear what you're saying is the chairman wasn't a very good chairman by not shutting her up. But I've gone through this before, and I think I know how to handle it. And get
I think you're a star-spangled awesome chairman. I just want to say that for the record. But if you're going to let somebody over there go 3 minutes over, I want my extra 3 minutes.
Well, let's see if it's abused by anybody else before we make that decision.
I'm just telling you, I'm going to abuse it.
Well, I'm not going to let you abuse it.
Oh.
got a purpose. Ready to fight all of my might. It's gonna be worth it. One thing I know is I got a purpose. Ready to fight all of my might. It's gonna be worth it. I know it's gonna be worth it. You see me put in work. Can't sit back and be another victim even when it hurts.
How many relatives, including in-laws, do you have on your payroll in your various groups?
You know, we hire based on qualifications and solely based on qualifications.
I'm assuming they're all beautifully qualified. How many of these beautifully qualified relatives do you have on your staff, in-laws or not in-laws?
Everyone on my staff are uniquely qualified for the positions.
I'm not questioning that. I think they're all great. How many of them are there, and what is their relationship, and what are you paying them?
I appreciate the question, sir, but I came here to do a job, and I'm going to get the best of the best, and I'm glad to tell you that
I'm giving you that they're the best. What are you paying, and how many are there?
I think there is no secret. There is a transparent portal there for everyone to see them. So
the transport portal tells me who's your brother-in-law, who's your cousin.
Well,
that's a hell of a portal.
Well, I'm very proud to tell you that I stand with my team members. They are the best in the business.
Did you hire one of your brother-in-laws for a newly created position and pay him more than $100,000?
I appreciate the question, sir.
You did, didn't you? You're not answering? You did do that, right?
I do have the best of the best in our office, and I'm proud to say Secretary of State's office has the best state government employees.
Mr. Secretary, I've been here a long time, but I've never seen such an abject refusal to tell the public what you're doing, and you're here asking for millions of dollars in increases for your office, and you won't answer these fundamental questions. I will have to vote against any part of the budget for your agency, given that. You take no bid contracts. You have a bonus program that is not an organized program. You won't tell me who your in-laws are or relatives who work for you. You won't deal with the fact that you give no bid contracts and then get tens of thousands of dollars in political contributions. So just for the record, I'm not asking you more questions because I'm sick of these refusals. And you're going to get a no vote on every aspect of your budget from this seat, and I hope from many others. Thank you for your time.
So I just got back home from a meeting with my DHS caseworker, I guess you would call it, an appointment. I've never had to do this. It was a in-person appointment to go over my benefits, what I'm receiving, my income. It was kind of like a review, but since I've been on welfare, I've been getting assistance for so long, they had to go over everything with me. I am having to, it's this work program to where if you are not working, but you are receiving benefits, whether it's food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, they are now requiring you to do this work program for 40 hours minimum, more than a full-time job. So even though I am on disability and I am not able to go get a full-time physical job, they are requiring me to do this work program, which is pretty much I might as well go out and get a job. So they're making us do this 40-hour-a-week work program to get us to go get a job, and then once we have a job and have income,
we're not eligible
for the benefits anymore.
Hey,
that's what they're doing.
looking envelopes
so
in the
they
mail
are
room.
screwing us like they always do. So
send them out.
If you're getting assistance,
You know what I mean?
you
They
this
should
is
have put
going
them
to be
down there
happening to you. It's going to
at the
be
courthouse,
across
sweeping
America.
floors.
So
Whatever
thank you, government, once again.
You're committed to rescue. You're going to help rescue next month 2 astronauts that I think were banned.
Elon show up at my door.
Dispute that in an interview.
At the President's request or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add this in.
They were supposed to be there.
We got hit by a Tesla a couple
I'm just gonna let it record it.
week and a half ago on autopilot.
Will
That's
will
why
this be on my
T-bone.
chart?
Look at my back.
This like the image playing like that?
All right.
No, not.
No.
Like I said, Elon might be at my front door here soon.
8 days. They're almost 300.
Biden.
They were yes, they were left up there for political reasons, which is not good.
Hi, I'm Cody. I primarily go by he, em, or z's on pronouns, but I'm comfortable being referred to using any neo-pronouns that are not z here. And a little bit about who I am. I am a white, transmasculine, femme, non-binary, disabled, neurodivergent, obsessive-compulsive, chronically ill, Unitarian Universalist, raised Jewish, non-monogamous, demi-low romantic, gray demi-bisexual, survivor of acute and complex trauma, millennial, and cat parent in mental health.
Cat parent. I think that explains a lot.
When I went to Twitter, when I got a call one day from someone at Twitter basically saying, Elon wants to meet you. Can you get here tonight? It was at about 3 o'clock on a Tuesday or something, Tuesday or Thursday. And I called everybody I knew who had a private plane. I was like, somebody's got to get me over there. Nobody could get on. I jump on a plane. I get to Twitter at about 12:30 a.m. This is like a week or two after he bought Twitter. And he comes out, there's all these people there. It's just such a buzz, right? And he comes out, it's about 12:30 a.m. His eyes are bloodshot. And he's clearly tired, right? And you've met him many times now. He dresses like a normal guy. He's in like this ratty t-shirt. It's late at night, his sneakers are dirty. And he's clearly been there for God knows how long. Probably hasn't slept
5 years.
Yeah, probably hasn't slept in however, right? And he says to me, he goes, Dave, I heard about what's been going on with your account. He's like, do you want to do this tonight? Or if it's okay, could we do it tomorrow? It's like, this is insane. The world's richest man is basically like, can I work for you tonight at 1 a.m.? I was like, it's actually okay. I'll come back tomorrow. And then I sat there the next day with a whole bunch of engineers who opened the hood of the thing. And the entire system, the entire Twitter system was built to shadow ban. That's it. Everything under the hood of Twitter was built to put filters and tags. And you said this, so now you can't see this, or you connected with that person, so now you can't connect with this person. The entire system was built that way. So Jack Dorsey, who was the CEO for much of it, he testified under oath that they do not shadow ban, but the whole freaking system was built that way. Now, he probably legally didn't get in trouble because shadow ban is not a technical term, and he may have, been, I think he was just playing with the words there. But the point is, there was an entire system basically built to silence a certain set of people and promote another set of people.
Yeah, and now it didn't work.
And it didn't work. So how cool is that? How cool is that? And that's where we're at right now.
You got a $50 million airplane. You got a $29 million gorgeous helicopter. We had every type of helicopter. Many of them brand new, literally out of the box. 28, 29 million. We have $60, $70 million planes. You mean you think it's cheaper to leave it there so they can have it than it is to fill it up with a half a tank of gas and fly it into Pakistan or fly it back to our country? You think, yes, sir, we think it's cheaper, sir. That's when I realized he was a fucking idiot.
I'm sorry.
No!
Hi, my friend!
How you doing?
Good, how's it going? Hey.
I have a question for you.
Thanks.
Golden chainsaw.
On the day I was born, when the saw gathered right on.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at me.
And I was bad to the bone.
Put it in a
Good point. Sure, Caitlin.
I have a question. I'll start with you, Kevin Hassett. Thank you for being here. And then I've got a question for Mr. Waltz. On these potential checks that you might send out from Doge, is there a concern as you're thinking through this that they could be inflationary?
Oh, absolutely not, because imagine if we don't spend government money and we give it back to people, then if they spend it all, then you're even. But they're probably going to save a lot of it, in which case you're reducing inflation. Okay, so and also, when the government spends a lot, that's what creates inflation. We learned that from Joe Biden. And so if we reduce government spending, then that's reduces inflation. And if you give people money, then they're going to save a bunch of it. And when they save it, then that also reduces demand and reduces inflation.
Okay, so you're not worried about it.
It is true that many of the people in this room for 4 years failed to cover the fact that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent and was not running the country. It is also true that many people in this room who have used this talking point that Elon is not elected fail to understand how government works. So I'm glad for the opportunity for a brief civics lesson. A president is elected by the whole American people. He's the only official in the entire government that is elected by the entire nation, right? Judges are appointed, members of Congress are elected at the district or state level, just one man. And the Constitution, Article 2, has a clause known as the vesting clause, and it says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular. The whole will of democracy is imbued into the elected president. That president then appoints staff to then impose that democratic will onto the government. The threat to democracy, indeed the existential threat to democracy, is the unelected bureaucracy of lifetime tenured civil servants who believe they answer to no one, who believe they can do whatever they want without consequence, who believe they can set their own agenda no matter what Americans vote for. So Americans vote for radical FBI reform, and FBI agents say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote for radical reform on our energy policies, but EPA bureaucrats say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote to end DEI, racist DEI policies, and lawyers in the Department of Justice say they don't want to change. What President Trump is doing is he is removing federal bureaucrats who are defying democracy by failing to implement his lawful orders, which are the will of the whole American people.
If we make guns illegal, then nobody will get shot.
Listen.
That's how we stopped everybody from doing drugs. Want to stop drunk drivers from killing sober drivers? Ban sober drivers. That's how gun control works. If abortion isn't murder, then why is it a double homicide when a pregnant woman is killed? So a mother can abort her baby if she doesn't want the responsibility, but a father will go to prison if he doesn't want the responsibility. Interesting. If genitals don't define gender, how does removing them affirm it? So the White House is unable to track billions of dollars sent to Ukraine, and the U.S. Treasury is unable to track trillions of dollars in pandemic spending, yet the IRS wants to know where your $5.38 is, or you're going to jail.
We have a very corrupt country. $42 million for Johns Hopkins, great place to research and drive social and behavior change in Uganda. $20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. $19 million for biodiversity conservation in Nepal. $1.5 million for voter confidence. We want to give them confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India, $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia, $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center, $10 million for Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcisions, $10 million for circumcisions in another country, $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion
What's that come down to Florida with
of
some of this
sedentary migrants.
money? Buy some land.
$25 million to promote biodiversity conservation and promote licit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in the country of Colombia. Well, it's nice, $25 million to go into Colombia. $520 million for a consultant on the environment.
Well, there it is, y'all. That was the rundown. Tell me what y'all think. Drop a comment, share, like, same usual stuff. You know what I mean? Let's go about it. God bless.